Yesterday you started some review working with multiplying decimals. Today I'm going to go over our worksheet from yesterday and talk a little further through the lesson. After visiting with you guys in our class meeting, I told you needed to finish numbers 1 through 10. And at the end of today, once we've gone through 1 through 10, you can correct yours. You will be then completing 11 through 20. If you are a student who already completed the entire page, you may stop here after you've corrected your 1 through 10 and log in to Reflex and work on Reflex while other students work to finish lesson 1. If we look at number 1, we have 8 56/100 multiplied by 2 1/10. One way that I like to teach kiddos to complete this problem is to first ignore the decimal completely and to go through and circle any number that is to the right of the decimal. Any number that's to the right of the decimal, I have them put a little circle around it. So we have the 56/100 to the right of the decimal, and to the right of the decimal here we have 1/10. And so we're just going to simply circle those in the beginning of your problem. Anything that's to the right of the decimal, put a circle around, and I'll show you a quick tip as we work through this problem. The first thing you're going to do is ignore the decimals completely and multiply as if they weren't even there. And so I'm going to take 1 times 6 is equal to 6. 1 times 5 is equal to 5. 1 times 8 is equal to 8. And then I'm going to make sure that I put down my placeholder. And I always like to do a circle with an X through it so that I know it's not a number, and I make sure I put that placeholder in. And then I'm going to do my multiply by 2. 2 times 6 is 12. Put down your 2. Carry your 1. 2 times 5 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. Put down your 1 and carry your 1. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 1 is 17. And now we've completed our multiplication part, and we need to just then add our numbers together. 6 plus nothing is 6. 5 plus 2 is 7. 8 plus 1 is 9, and 7 plus nothing is 7. 1 plus nothing is 1. And so now you can see you have a really large number. This is where we're going to go back and we're going to look at how many numbers we circled. And all we do there is just count how many numbers we actually circled. And here you can see we circled the 5, the 6, and the 1. So we've actually circled 3 numbers. And all you need to do then is you go down into your answer and you start with your decimal at the end of your number and you move it over to the left and you shift it 3 places because there were 3 numbers. And so your answer is 17 976 thousandths. I'm going to walk through the second problem with you, and we're going to follow that same process. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look for any numbers that are to the right of the decimal points. And here we have 3 to the right of the decimal point in 12 3/10, and we have 2 to the right of the decimal point in 15 2/10. Once you've circled those, you're going to go ahead and start your multiplication again, and you're going to ignore the decimal completely as we work our way through. 2 times 3 is equal to 6. 2 times 2 is equal to 4. And 2 times 1 is equal to 2. And then we're going to put down our placeholder so we don't put a number in the wrong spot. And then we're going to multiply by 5. 5 times 3 is 15. Put down your 5, carry your 1. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Put down your 1 and carry your 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. Now we're into the next row, so we need to put down 2 placeholders and multiply by our third number. 1 times 3 is equal to 3. 1 times 2 is equal to 2. And 1 times 1 is equal to 1. We're done with our multiplication, and now we simply need to add. 6 plus nothing is equal to 6. 4 plus 5 is equal to 9. 2 plus 1 plus 3 more is equal to 6. 6 plus 2 is 8, and 1 plus nothing is 1. Now, this is where we go and we check how many numbers did we circle, how many numbers were to the right of the decimal. And here we have 1, which is 3/10, and we have 1 here, which is 2/10. So we have 2 numbers. So we go to the end of our answer, we put our decimal point in, and we shift it over 1, 2 spots. And our answer is 186 96/100. We're going to complete the same steps for number 3. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to circle all of the numbers that are to the right of the decimal in the problem. And you can see I have a 0, 8, 9, a 1, and a 5. So I've got 5 numbers in this problem that are to the right of the 0. So now I'm going to start my multiplication. I'm going to go ahead and ignore my decimals until I've finished my multiplication and added up my numbers. 5 times 9 is 45. Put down my 5, carry my 4. 5 times 8 is 40, plus 4 is 44. Put down my 4, carry my 4. 5 times 0 is 0, plus 4 is 4. 5 times 6 is 30. Put down my 30. Now I'm going to put down my placeholder so I don't get myself confused with my addition. And then I'm going to go to my next number. 1 times 9 is equal to 9. 1 times 8 is equal to 8. 1 times 0 is equal to 0. And 1 times 6 is equal to 6. I'm going to put down my placeholders. Now I have to have 2, and I'm working on my third number. And I have 2 times 9 is equal to 18. Put down my 8, carry my 1. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17. Put down my 7, carry my 1. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1, and 2 times 6 is 12. And now it's time to complete my addition. 5 plus nothing is equal to 5. 9 plus 4 is equal to 13. Put down my 3, carry my 1. 8 plus 8 is 16. Plus 4 more is 20. Plus 1 is 21. So put down my 1, carry my 2. 7 plus 2 is equal to 9. 6 plus 3 is 9. Plus 1 more is 10. Put down my 0, carry my 1. 2 plus is equal to 3. And 1 plus nothing is equal to 1. And now I need to go back and I need to count how many numbers were behind the decimal in the problem, and I circled each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I put down my decimal, and I'm going to shift it 5 places to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And there's my answer, 13.09135. I'd like you to go ahead and pause your video now, and you can check your answers for numbers 1 through 10 that you were supposed to have worked on and completed yesterday. And if you have any questions, we'll answer them in our class meeting that we're going to have right after this. So go ahead now, pause your videos. I've posted the answers for 1 through 10, and the assignment today is going to be to finish this math page. I, however, had quite a few questions from the kiddos who were getting closer to finish on this problem right here. So I am going to complete this one with you, which means you will only have 9 math problems to do today on your own. And this problem might seem a little more intimidating because it is multiplying a 4-digit number by a 4-digit number, so it does take a little bit longer, but the process is still going to be the exact same, and I'm going to walk through it with you. First thing we're going to do is circle every number that comes after the decimal point, so every number to the right of the decimal point. So we're going to circle each one, and then we can start our multiplication problem out. And we treat it just like there's not a decimal. Remember, just ignore the decimal for now until you finish your multiplication and addition. 8 times 1 is equal to 8. 8 times 2 is equal to 16. Put down your 6, carry your 1. 8 times 5 is equal to 40, plus 1 is 41. 8 times 7 is equal to 56, plus 4 is equal to 60. Put down your 0 and your 6. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put down our placeholder and move to the next row. Well, it's times 0, so we can go ahead and 0 times 1 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. 0 times 5 is 0. And 0 times 7 is 0. Now we're going to put down 2 placeholders and move to our third number, and it's 1. 1 times 1 is equal to 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 5 is 5. And 1 times 7 is 7. And now we're going to put down our next placeholders. And we need 3 because we're moving over to our fourth number. And 6 times 1 is equal to 6. 6 times 2 is equal to 12. Put down your 2, carry your 1. 6 times 5 is equal to 30, plus 1 is 31. Put down your 1, carry your 3. 6 times 7 is equal to 42, plus 3 more is equal to 45. And now we can add them all together. 8 plus nothing is equal to 8. 6 plus nothing is equal to 6. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. And 2 plus 6 equal to 8. 6 plus 5 is equal to 11. Plus 2 more is equal to 13. Carry your 1. 7 plus 1 is 8. Plus 1 more is 9. 5 plus nothing is 5. And 4 plus nothing is 4. Now, we need to go back and count how many numbers we circled. How many numbers came to the right of the decimal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to put down our decimal and we're going to shift it 6 places to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our answer is 45.938268. So your answer to this problem here, which I believe is number 17, is 45.938268. Your job now is to work on the last 9 problems of this page, and if you have any problems, come to our class meeting with your questions ready to go and I will answer them.